Imagine K-pop as this gigantic, colorful cake. It's been growing and growing since 2010, getting layers of sweet frosting and sparkly decorations. It's a blessing for your ears, eyes, and soul, and that cake's newest, fanciest layer is the fourth generation of K-pop idols. Their music is so top-notch it's like listening to a world-class orchestra. Come on, the fourth generation idols joined the K-pop wave and sailed it to places you won't even believe, like the US billboards. So what's the problem, you might ask? Well, here's the first part of our mystery. These fourth-gen idols are setting new records, right? Especially the girl groups. They're the superstars, quarterbacks of K-pop, but when we look at the boy groups, something's not adding up. Now, don't get me wrong, some boy groups are smashing it too. We've got TXT, Anypen, Stray Kids, and ATEEZ, who are basically like the cool kids in the playground that everyone knows and loves. But the second part of our mystery is that most people can't name more than a couple of new boy groups. Why is that? Why do boy groups seem like side characters in a movie, even if they're from big companies, while the girl groups are like the main stars? Stick around because we're about to untangle this riddle. We're gonna reveal why fourth-gen boy groups are the unsung heroes and why they're struggling to keep up with the girls. Continue watching why fourth-gen boy groups are not doing well. The fourth generation of K-pop boy groups isn't popular with the general public. Lately, new girl groups have been shooting up like rockets, lighting up the sky with their talent, especially in 2022. Groups like IVE, Lee Sephirim, aespa, New Jeans, Nimix, and more have been grabbing attention left and right. While they sing or dance, the Korean public just can't get enough. Now, as we said earlier, while these girl groups have been soaring high, our fourth generation K-pop boy groups, despite coming from big labels and making foot-tapping music, haven't quite reached the same heights in South Korea. For example, when fans peaked at the top 10 most streamed K-pop boy group songs of 2022 on Melon, a popular Korean music app, none of them were from fourth generation boy groups. Meanwhile, the girls ruled the charts, with most top songs being from fourth generation artists. Another example is the girls group music, which is, come on, their music is so mesmerizing to listen to. This can be seen in Inkigayo, a music program in South Korea that literally means popular music, and in case you didn't know, the only SKZ, Stray Kid, and TBZ, the boys, are the only fourth gen boys group listened to on Inkigayo. But this is just one side of the coin, and we'll talk about the other later on. For now, let's see the possible reason for the decline in boy group popularity. From Cake, let's imagine the boy group of pop world is a vast ocean. The legendary third-generation boys group BTS, 17, NCT, Monsta X, and groups like GOT7 are like established lighthouses, steady, bright, and guiding ships for years. Then there's the fourth-generation boy groups, like the new lighthouses. With newer technologies and platforms, more of them are being built than ever. But with so many lighthouses, sometimes it's tricky for ships to know which one to follow. So what do people do if there's so many of them to follow? Stick with the OGs, yes, and one fan said that the main reason is because the big third-gen boys groups are still crazy popular, while outside of the big third-gen girls groups are gone. But some sailors, the fans, have noted that while girl groups are like clear beacons easily seen by many, boy groups have a focused beam. Why is this? Because of the different ways they've been introduced to the world. From the very beginning of K-pop, the goal of girl groups is to get attention and popularity at any cost, while boy groups aim to create and expand the fandom. If you're not a fan, then you've heard their song. You might probably skip them because some of them are too generic or experimental. It's really hard to listen to, but if you know the meaning behind it, like the fandom knew, that's a different story. A notable insight from K-pop enthusiasts stated that there's simply too many of them, and they all sounded much the same. A comment rang out. Another stated, "I watched a music show and all of the male idols' music sounded the same." The argument against the popularity of girl groups. If K-pop is a huge candy store, girl groups are like those colorful, sugary lollipops that everyone, both boys and girls, just want to try. Why? Because from the start, they're made to catch everyone's eye and taste buds. On the other hand, boy groups are like those special chocolates with secret ingredients designed specifically for a select group of dedicated chocolate lovers. That's why boy groups are portrayed as the boyfriend material. Ever notice that? Well, some K-pop fans feel that while girl groups are drawing a crowd because of their candy appeal, it might just be a passing phase, and soon they might be back to their favorite boy group. On the other hand, girl groups seem to be everywhere, hitting all the the right notes in terms of fans, songs, and sales. Yet others feel this glittery phase might not last as long as we think. Their reign might be short and sweet. One fan mentioned, it's no longer just about digitals and the general public, it's in terms of fandoms and physical sales. Even the songs that 4th gen boy group songs fans swear went viral really only stayed in fandom spaces. Another summed it up on Reddit forums saying, super oversimplified reason, because girl groups appeal to men and women, while BGs mostly only appeal to women. To be totally clear, let's get back to our cake analogy. Imagine a concert venue as a giant cake. While girl groups might bring in lots of casual fans like the icing and sprinkles on top, boy groups with their dedicated fans fill up the whole cake layer by layer and are often selling out these huge concert cakes. 4th gen boy groups and their paradox: low chart rankings, high physical sales. 4th gen K-pop boy groups are immensely seductive and talented idols, but they aren't getting as much foot traffic as girl groups. One observer mentioned they don't get invited to variety shows because they can't pull the same amount of viewers as other guests already well known with the general public. However, 4th gen boy groups are hidden gems because if you look at their sales, they're off the charts. But the girl groups have also started setting up bigger sales with even shinier music. You see, if we're going to take a look at it closely, the 4th gen boy groups have to work really hard while their fans are also supporting them by raising funds. Their fans are like dedicated market assistants, rallying people and setting up fun activities just to put their idols on chart rankings in South Korea's music platforms. On the other hand, the girl group fans have the general public playing and streaming their songs almost unconsciously. Interestingly, while most scratch their heads when it comes to the big 4th gen group hits, the older boy groups like BTS and EXO and Big Bang, and they're the ultimate gods of K-pop boy groups. Some market visitors explain, unfortunately there are simply too many groups to keep track of, too much competition and oversaturation of the market, so it's harder to climb up the charts. Another fan added, their music is just not interesting to listen to. It's the same for girl groups, but I feel like this is more recurrent with boy groups. But here's the other side of the coin. If we take a global ride and check out apps like Spotify, which are huge among international fans, the story flips. Our 4th gen K-pop boy groups shine brightly there. And get this, many of these boy groups, especially those who started their journey in 2018 or later, have sold millions of albums. So can we really say that they're not popular? Maybe like we said before, they're like hidden gems, sparkling more in certain places and waiting to be discovered elsewhere. So while the girls might be the shining stars in Korea right now, our boys are winning hearts worldwide. To sum it all up, 4th gen girl groups are doing great. I mean, they have tremendous success when it comes to the general public, while the 4th gen boy groups are more dependent on fan base. And yes, this is not a negative thing. This is their divine power. Why? Well, the fan base will do everything to help their boy group idols, while the general public enjoying 4th generation girl group music will not take such action. How about you? What do you think about it? Are the girl groups here to stay, or is it just their moment in the spotlight before the boys take over again? Write it down in the comment section below. But if the 4th gen K-pop groups are the shining stars and winning hearts, the biggest companies and agencies in K-pop are the darkness surrounding them. Take YG Entertainment for example. This agency called 2NE1 ugly, and they disbanded the group abruptly. Yet these are just two of the many dark secrets of the K-pop industry. And if you want to uncover more dark layers, click this video right here, and then I'll see you on the darker side.